Everyone thinks the Vantrue N4 Pro is just another 3-channel dash cam with a flashy 4K sticker. But here's the thing, the hype isn't what sold me. It was what happened when the lights went down, the rain kicked up, and plates still popped. Because in real traffic, detail is everything. And yes, I went in skeptical. 3 channels, front 4K 3840x2160 plus 2 1080p streams at the same time. Sounds like a spec sheet flex. But after 2 weeks of daily commuting, night drives, and street parking, I found something that flips the script and a couple of quirks you need to know before you hit buy. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick heads up. If you're already leaning towards it, I've got the best current price linked below. But stick around, because one tiny setting and one accessory will make or break your results with this camera. Here's the setup. I needed a 24/7 witness. My last 2 cams struggled where it mattered. Night plates smeared into mush, parking mode filled with false alarms from swaying trees, and one overheated on a summer highway. I wanted clean evidence, not just footage. I drive in mixed conditions, early mornings, city tunnels, glare at noon, and a lot of street parking. I also haul gear, so a rear camera that can flip to watch the trunk is a real use case, not a gimmick. I tried popular models that promised 4K, but they cracked under heat or had clunky apps that made pulling clips a chore. So when I saw the N4 Pro's SDARVIS2 sensor, PlatePix tech, 5 GHz Wi-Fi, OTA updates, and buffered parking modes, I thought, prove it. Amazon shows solid 4-star feedback, but I don't review stars, I test. Day test first. I mounted the N4 Pro with the magnetic mount, ran the rear cable to the hatch, and left the cabin cam centered. Front set to 4K, rear 1080p, cabin 1080p. Midday, 45 mph traffic, mixed sun and shade. The 4K front with HDR held contrast better than I expected. I could freeze frames on vehicles ahead and read plates 2 to 3 cars up without cranking exposure. Glare. Without the optional CPL, windshield reflections crept in, but with the CPL attached, reflections dropped noticeably and plate clarity improved. So far, so good, but then came the real test, night. Night runs are where dash cams fall apart. On a wet boulevard with streetlights, SDARVIS2 did the heavy lifting. PlatePix is the quiet MVP. It stabilized letter edges on moving plates that usually turn into white smears. I locked several clips using voice control, say lock the video, and the IR-equipped cabin cam kept passengers visible without blowing highlights. Still, there's a caveat. If your windshield is dirty or you're running super dark tints, you'll want to bump exposure slightly or rely on that CPL for headlights. Here's where it gets interesting. The front cam stayed crisp at 30 FPS in 4K, which helps motion clarity versus trying to cram in higher frame rates at lower resolution. Parking mode next. I hardwired it using the Vantrue kit. You need it for 24/7, set buffered motion detection, and adjusted the recording zone to ignore sky and tree line. This is a killer feature. Instead of filling the card with clouds, it saved 10 seconds before and 30 seconds after actual motion inside the masked zone. In 48 hours curbside, I had 3 relevant events, not 200 junk clips. Someone brushed my bumper backing in, the G sensor locked the file, and the rear cam angle caught the plate as they pulled away. That's the kind of clip you buy a dash cam for. App and speed. The always-on 5 GHz Wi-Fi moved 4K clips to my phone via the Vantrue app faster than I expected. Not instant, but practical. OTA firmware update popped on day 3, 1 tap, done. Built-in GPS stamped speed and route handy if you ever need hard proof. Voice control mostly worked. Once or twice it missed in high cabin noise, but show rear camera and take photo became muscle memory. Heat and reliability. Dual supercapacitors handled a long highway drive in summer sun without thermal shutdown. The unit gets warm, all 3-channel 4K cams do, but it stayed stable. Important note. It won't play with PD fast chargers. Use the included charger or Vantrue cables and connect the rear cam to the rear port and power to the mount port, or the system won't power on. Also, plan for storage. 3 channels at high bitrate will chew through space. A 256 GB or 512 GB high-endurance card is the move. Minor nit. The suction cup mount is sold separately if your windshield angle is weird. The included magnetic mount is solid, but SUVs with sharp rake may want that optional cup. Here's the revelation. I went in for 4K headlines, but I'm recommending it for the way the system captures usable evidence. Plate Pix plus SDARVIS2 plus 4K HDR on the front actually translates to readable plates in motion at night, which many cams still flub. The adjustable buffered parking mode with zone masking cut my false positives drastically, so I kept the clips that matter and didn't nuke my SD card. Compared to alternatives I've used, the N4 Pro's front clarity is right up there. The interior IR is clean and not ghosty, and you get OTA updates without a cloud subscription. Is it perfect? No. File sizes are big, the app could be snappier when listing many clips, and there's no premium cloud ecosystem like some high-end systems. But for a one-time buy that you control locally, it hits the sweet spot. Image quality, reliability, and practical 24/7 protection. And that 360-degree rotatable rear cam that can face the trunk, legit useful for SUVs and pickups. Now that you know the real edge is evidence, not just resolution, grab it while it's in stock and before the price swings. Links in the description for the best current deal, plus the hardwire kit and CPL I used to get these results. Bottom line, the Vantrue N4 Pro is for daily drivers, rideshare pros, parents, and anyone who parks on the street and needs proof, day or night. If you want cloud viewing or an ultra-stealth tiny footprint, look elsewhere. If you want front-facing 4K that actually reads plates, strong night performance, smart parking capture, and a system that survives heat with supercapacitors, this is the one. Pair it with a 256 GB or 512 GB card, the hardwire kit, and that CPL and you're set. Evidence beats hype. That's why this stays on my windshield.